So, I guess I kind of wanted to make a video because I've been trying really hard to just let things be, put things behind me, or what have you. And I guess I'm just getting really frustrated. I'm gonna give a heads up that this might be in segments because I'm just kind of making little videos whenever I feel like crap lately. So I guess one of my biggest things is that I feel like I'm not allowed to talk about my mental health. I feel like I'm not allowed to talk about certain things. Like if I were to say post something on my Instagram, or if I were to make a video on YouTube about my mental health and stuff, or if I were to make a video blurb and post it on my Instagram, which are things that I've done before. Um, I usually get people being really rude to me, and not in a matter of they're being transphobic or anything, or they're being anything to do, I guess, with being trans, because my mental health really doesn't have anything to do with being trans. My mental health gets flared up. I don't like the word triggered. I feel like it's overused, so I'm just going to say, I get frustrated when people within the same community as me, kind of I guess, I have mental health issues. I know that other people have mental health issues. I'm not trying to compare mental health issues. I'm just saying that we all have mental health issues, and I feel like sometimes people either abuse or just go overboard with certain things, and then when I make a comment or a post about being upset or about something that's happened to me, I usually get a lot of negativity and just oh, well, da 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 da, kind of blaming it on me. And it's one of those things where it's I have spent my whole life dealing with mental health issues, and I am really, really tired of feeling like people just devalue the fact that I actually go through things as well. I have quite a few people that I'm in contact with, whether it's online or in person, who suffer from mental health issues, and sometimes I just feel like they treat me like there's nothing fucking wrong with me, and they have it super bad, and they don't realize that things are hard for me too. And I don't always have to be there for somebody, but I do like to be there for people because I like it. I like to know that maybe somebody might be there for me as well. And throughout my whole life, I've kind of had this thing where nobody's ever really been there for me. My family has always been awesome, but it's a matter of my family had to learn that mental health isn't a pull up your socks type thing. They had to see me break down. They had to see me go through leaving work. I've said in the past, I have not worked. This November will probably this November is almost 5 years since I've been able to work, and I feel that it's really shitty that I try to do things in my spare time to make up for the fact that I can't work, and to make up for the fact that I don't contribute in the same way as everyone else. So I've been running Trans Fellows for 4 years, and I've pretty much done that on my own, and even the city I live in doesn't acknowledge that I fucking exist. And I'll go to other people's shows. I have donated a lot to many of the organizations that are going on. Some of them haven't even been around as long as I've been, and they don't necessarily share that same support where, oh, I helped you out. I don't expect that if I post for you, I don't necessarily expect that you're gonna post for me. If I donate something to you, I don't think it's gonna happen back. But I don't think the idea that at some point you might show me some love back or show some support back, I don't think that's out of the realm of normalcy. Okay? So I'm really just feeling like I've been taken advantage of, undervalued, and then on top of that, people have just not given a fuck that I deal with mental health issues. And I'm gonna be fucking honest, I know my face isn't that bad, but my face normally, when I am okay, I don't, and it's an awesome thing. I'm not, like, I don't get acne generally. Like, I'm a picker because of anxiety, and I'm a fidgeter, and I can't sit still, and things like that. And all the stress and everything brings on acne, which ends up, like, it hurts. It doesn't look like it because it's not a lot, but I'm telling you, like, my face is on fire because when I have mental health issues, my whole fucking face breaks out. Like, it's just getting really frustrating to know that, like, I've even said, like, I have agoraphobia, which means I have a fear of, like, leaving my home or a safe space. Right now, I'm in my car, which is a safe space for me, which is something that I have afforded to myself. And another thing that makes me upset is that because I have a vehicle, people like to think that I should pick them up, or that they don't have to give me gas money, or that it's not a big deal if I have to drive to do something. Or the fact that everything that goes on has free bus passes for people, but they don't help out with people who who don't live close enough or have anxiety about public transportation. I drive myself everywhere because I have anxiety about public transportation, and it costs me, generally the cheapest I can park is maybe like $2, and if I park where there's like no charge or no meter or whatever, I'm parking on a side street somewhere that I'm probably not too familiar, because a lot of events also don't happen in like main areas. Some do, some don't, but at the end of the day, like, can you see how big of a clusterfuck that is? Just trying to deal with, like, where am I going to park, or can I afford to park? Because if I have to pay to park and then I have to pay for cover, and then if I would like to have a drink, even if it's a pop, it's a matter of, like, can I afford that? But it's one of those things where people want to talk about as well, like, oh, well, we'll just do, like, pay what you can. Well, you know what? People who actually can't afford to pay a lot, and they're specific about the events they go to because of that, don't enjoy being told pay what you can, because it makes us feel like crap. And to be perfectly honest, if you're somebody who can pay the full price, that's an even bigger slap in the face, because I know for a fact, I've talked to so many people that do not pay the full price. They take advantage of the pay what you can, which is supposed to be for people who are lower income. And at the end of the day, that's kind of fucking rude. And that's another reason why me and other people don't like to take advantage of that, because we already know that other people that don't need to take advantage of that are. So, like, at the end of the day, I just feel really frustrated because I'm noticing that, like, people are putting out videos about, like, their day-to-day feelings, and I've not done day-to-day feelings, but I've done videos when I've been in a real kind of, like, bad way, and I've gotten shit on for it. And I don't think that that's fair. I don't think it's right. And I guess I'm just hoping that by posting this, that maybe people will understand that, like, I'm busting my ass, but I'm also falling apart. And I'm the type of person where I just keep trying to push myself until I can do what I know I can. And I've not been able to do what I know I can for, like, over 5 years. And that's fucking heartbreaking for me. So I think that, like, we kind of, I don't know. I don't want to speak for anybody. I don't want to tell you what to do. I just want to say, like, if you could just understand, like, if you know me as a person, in person, or if you know me online, can you just, like, have a little bit more decency or, like, compassion, maybe, even? Because I know that I've had a lot of people's backs, and I've always been there for everybody else. And I do I'm going to say this right now. I appreciate everybody who messages me to check in on me, because that makes me feel so good. You guys make me feel awesome. Now, the only thing I'm going to say is that, like, I've had a really rough time my whole life interacting with people, social stuff. Had my name dragged through the mud, both my birth and my chosen name. And I've had a lot of shitty experiences, and mainly when I say my family is my main thing and my family are my best friends and type, it's true. It really is. So I guess, like, I've just lost my thought now because I'm so fucking stressed out. But yeah, like, I guess just, I want to say thank you for reaching out, but I also want to just let you know that, like, I'm not trying to be rude if I don't get into it with you. I've been through a lot in my life, and people don't like to acknowledge it. Even people that I went to school with, they like, if you didn't see me get bullied, that's fine, whatever, but it fucking happened, so don't act like I never got picked on from the moment I started kindergarten till the moment that I fucking graduated high school. The only good time that I had in school was when I went to college and met a few decent people that, like, thankfully I still talk to today. And, like, so don't discredit my life because you honestly don't know. That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for people not to discredit my life, and I'm asking people to understand that, like, I will talk to you, but I'm also very reserved as a person. So, like, I kind of, like, jumped there for a minute. But yeah, if you've messaged me, said let's talk and stuff, like, I do really appreciate it, and I do like talking to you. It's very nice. I just don't get overly in depth and stuff just because I do have trust issues. I have a lot of trust issues with people that I'm not familiar with. It's not that I think you're a bad person or whatever, or I think you're going to do something. It's just because of my past, I need to be closer to somebody than, you know, I need to build up a friendship with you that's pretty substantial for me to really just dive right in there, you know. But I very much so appreciate when people check up on me because I have people around here that live within probably like the 10-15 minute range from me, and I always offer to pick up or drive my friends if need be. And I can't generally even get them to pay attention or bother or even see that something might be going on in my life. So I guess I'm going to leave this one there. I might upload a few more because I've just been so stressed out and people don't get it. Like, I'm going to be flat out honest here for a moment. I was at Haldeman Pride in Dunnville. This is the last thing I'm going to say on this video, but, like, this is one thing that really fucking got to me. I've been part of Hamilton for, like, ever. My hometown was, like, taken over by Hamilton along with other towns back when I was in high school. So, like, I'm fucking part of Hamilton, and ever since I came out, I've tried to be part of the community. I was at Haldeman Norfolk Pride in Dunnville, and it was a matter of there were two other people there from Hamilton that had booths, and they're super awesome people, and I have nothing against them, and this is nothing. Terry and Eddie, I honestly, nothing against you guys whatsoever. Like, I'm sorry I didn't get to come to your booth to check you out. It was a very crazy day. You guys were there, you know. But I do want to say that it did really hurt my feelings to know that people were posting on social media, and especially Hamilton Pride was posting, saying that, like, Happy Pride, like, from Dunnville or whatever, and they posted pictures, and Trans Fellas was not in any of those pictures, and Trans Fellas started in Hamilton and has been run out of Hamilton. We do worldwide, but, like, that's a really big kick in the stones because, like, I've promoted a lot of people, even if I've kind of had an issue with them, and I've helped out a lot of people too, and I've given my spare time and my money and gifts and donations and all these other things, and it was really a big slap in the face because Hamilton Pride did not have a booth at Haldeman Norfolk Pride this year, nor did any, like, the AIDS Network did, but I didn't notice anybody there. I wasn't familiar with anybody who was at that booth. We were right beside them, but we weren't familiar with each other. But at the end of the day, like, I just want to say, like, that's one thing where, like, there's a big negativity going around, and it's a matter of if you don't agree with somebody, then they're just going to cast you out and tell you that you're an issue and that they don't need you. And at the end of the day, that's not okay. And I'm not naming names. Like, I mentioned that Hamilton Pride didn't mention that Trans Fellas there, but I just think I mentioned that because I think that's a slap in the face to me and to anybody else who has, like, contributed to Trans Fellas or, like, you know, it's a slap in the face to the city as well because, like, I do a lot for this city and you guys don't even know. So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm asking for some respect and I'm asking for some compassion, maybe. But like, just realize that everybody has stuff going on, and just because people don't share opinions on everything doesn't mean that they're a terrible person. I don't think that other people that I have issues with are terrible people because we don't agree on something, but it just seems to be that accordingly to people, I'm a terrible person because I'm not on the same page. And I know for a fact, I've talked to many, many, many other people that have been experiencing some of the same things. And I'm tired of being quiet. And if that's going to be an issue for people, then that's fine. I'm not going to drag anybody through the mud. I'm not going to go on and on about it. This is just a portion of what I needed to talk about with my mental health and how I've been feeling and the things that I've experienced. So, if you can't be nice, please just be quiet. Anyhow, I hope everybody has a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Thanks for listening.